If you want unadulterated absolute freedom in your life, you need to stop chasing flexibility and start building a rigid digital prison for your time. True freedom isn't a relaxed, chaotic vacation. It's a cold, calculated, structural masterpiece. And today, I'm going to completely shatter the delusional fantasy of wishing for a better life and hand you the ironclad behavioral blueprint required to actually build it from scratch. Hey, my name is Isai Rodriguez, and this is Home Business Hustle. If you're a working dad who's tired of being successful on paper but broke on time, then you're in the right place. We don't do the guru hype here. We don't do the laptop on a beach fairy tales. We just do the work that actually works. All right? So let's get right into it. So yeah, a few nights ago, it was a warm Tuesday evening around 7:15 p.m. I was sitting on the living room floor with my kids. Outwardly, it looked like the perfect picture of a work from home dad being present, right? But internally, are you with me? I was a million miles away, right? My mind was fractured into 1,000 pieces. I was worrying about an unread email. I was obsessing over an automated sequence. And I was stressing about what it was that I hadn't finished that day, right? Again, I was physically in the room, but mentally I had checked out. I was never there. I was completely absent, right? And my kids could feel it. Like, that's the worst part of it. In fact, they actually called me out on it, you know? And that moment right there, when they called me out, that's when the lightning bolt hit me right between the eyes. I realized this is a classic trap, right? And I, at that very moment, felt right into it, right? I thought that because I didn't have a corporate boss hovering over my cubicle, I figured I was free, right? But chaos isn't freedom. Chaos is just a highly stressful, disorganized cage that you built for yourself. And if you don't have a rigid, unyielding structure governing your day, then your business will ruthlessly bleed into your family life, and your family life will bleed into your business, right? And what you end up with is you end up failing at both. You don't win on either side, constantly drifting, like in that, in that state of anxious, unproductive survival, right? I don't know if you can relate, but I catch myself falling into these traps, right? Quite a bit, more than I'd like to admit. But listen, how is it that we avoid this? Well, let's strip away the fluff, right? Because this is important. Real freedom is not an emotion that you manifest, right? It's a physical asset that you construct with your bare hands. It's something you build, right? If you want a life filled with genuine options, there are 3 non-negotiable mental laws that you must submit to, right? The first mental law is you have to recognize that wishing is a mental illness. Oof, that's strong, I know, but hear me out. Hoping, wishing, and praying for your business to suddenly take off is a form of self-sabotage. Listen, the market does not care about your desires. The market does not care about your good intentions. The market doesn't care about your vision board, right? The market only responds to structure and execution. You have to stop waiting for a lucky break or a magical wave of motivation to save you, because it's not coming, right? Motivation is a fickle friend. It'll let you down almost every single time, right? Discipline, systems, and a locked-in calendar are the only things that pay the bills at the end of the day, okay? That's the first thing. The second mental law is this. Your structure, it's not a cage, right? It's your shield. So what do I mean by this? So broke people look at a calendar block and think, oh man, that looks like slavery to me, right? Rich people look at a calendar block and realize that it's the only thing protecting their sanity, right? They understand this concept. They've already made that transition from looking at a block as slavery versus, freedom, right? When you map out your day with military precision, right? Knowing exactly when you build, when you market, and when you shut off the phone so that you can look your spouse in the eye. When you do that, you eliminate the friction of decision fatigue. Here's the key thought I want you to take away is that structure doesn't restrict your life. It completely liberates it. That's the mental shift that you need to make, right? The third mental law that you have to obey is this: build an option-rich reality. So listen, we both know the ultimate goal of a home business isn't to escape work entirely. That's a lazy fantasy, right? That's like the lazy boy commercials that I've been seeing popping up, right? The real goal is to buy back your options. Now, what are options? Well, we're not talking about like stock options. We're talking about the option to say yes to a spontaneous family trip, right? The option to sit in the front row of your life without checking your bank app, right? Having to consult with that first. Both those premium high value options are only bought with the currency of daily, boring, repetitive, consistent action, right? You design that structure first, right? And then the freedom, that's just the automatic output, right? Now, let's take a quick time out right here. Okay, I want you to look at your own calendar over the last 48 hours and ask yourself, honestly, have you been genuinely building an empire, or have you been drifting from distraction to distraction to distraction, from one thing to another? I want to know. Drop a comment below right now and be brutally honest with me and yourself, right? Type drifting if you've been, letting the days control you, and or type structured if you're ready to lock it all in, okay? Because I'm curious. Drop it in the comments. Then, in the meantime, let's bring this back full circle to your reality tonight when your house goes completely quiet, right? I want you to remember this one hard truth, is that real lasting freedom is never, ever handed to you. Nobody's ever going to come up to you and be like, hey, would you like some freedom? That does not happen. And it certainly isn't wished into existence. That also does not happen. It is built brick by boring brick through the structures that you choose to enforce today. So write this down on a sticky note and slap that baby right onto your laptop monitor, right? Write down: chaos creates cages. Structure creates freedom, right? So if you're entirely done with the exhausting cycle of drifting and you want the exact high converting framework that I use to lock in my daily business momentum, then I have a private, fiercely guarded asset that you quite literally cannot afford to ignore, right? It is a raw, no nonsense tactical blueprint that completely strips away the confusion and shows you exactly how to engineer a highly automated, profitable home business that gives you your life back, right? Now look, I'm not a monk here. I'm not going to beg you to fix your life, right? If you want to keep wishing upon a star while your family watches you stress out every single night, that is entirely your business. But if you want to claim the ultimate competitive advantage and build a real fortress around your time, then go down below, click the link in the description, and grab your free copy right now. All right, that's all I have for you today. Remember, information without execution is just a hobby, and you didn't click on this video because you needed another hobby. You clicked because you're ready to build something that lasts. So go hug your kids, then go and do the work. But first, don't forget to hit the link in the description for your free guide, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Let's get to work, guys. Take care. Bye.